Alright. We're playing this game. I'm Alex Leach with CGMagazine.
And I'm Cody Arm with CGMagazine.
Yeah, and we're playing Child of Light.
So you've been playing quite a bit of this lately.
I've been trying to burn through this game with all of the gusto that a reviewer does, and this game is way cuter than it has any right to be.
It is very artistic.
Now let's just take a look at some of the characters in the party. This is your main character.
Okay, that's Aurora.
Yeah, Aurora. And, yeah, she's pretty adorable. I'm actually not going to go through all the rest of them on second thought because I don't want to spoil too much for them. This is the kind of game where you really don't... where I really think people should just experience the plot for themselves, not to try to have it explained to them. I'm convinced there's a lot more going on than is currently there, so we're going to have to see what we're doing. And I can fly. You get this.
That's pretty cool.
You get this really early on in the game, so it's kind of weird that you have a jumping animation.
So, is there a limit to how long you can fly, or
nope?
So you can just float.
Yep. And I'm gonna grab this item. It's one of those magic defense. It's basically a permanent increase of stats, and I'm gonna give that to my main character because why would I give it to anyone else in the party? Like you play Chrono Trigger. Every item goes to Chrono.
Okay.
Every single item goes to the main character. That's the law.
So how important is the rest of your party then?
Pretty important, and I'll show you in a battle in a sec because I want to talk about it when there's a visual aid on it, but despite how many of them there are and how few can be in the party in combat at any given time, there is actually a reason, and you can get use out of all of them. This is your basically equipment. I'm just looking at these gems. You put the gems in these different slots, and it gives you different powers. Now, this is going to be kind of boring to watch, so I'm just going to do some stuff. And as you can see there, touching that creates these things called wishes, and if you do them in sequence, like that orange one there, if you hit that in the sequence, you get a bunch of healing and mana items.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you are that little piece of light. You use that separately from...
I forgot about him. I cannot pronounce his name for the life of me, so I'm not going to try, but he is our little sprite friend, and I control him with the right mouse stick. If we had another controller, you could actually control him.
Okay.
You can do it as a co-op thing, and he can move around, touch anything of these items, trigger them. He can activate things like this. This is already open, but you can use this. Using left trigger, you use a bit of your energy power to shine light. You can blind enemies so you can sneak behind them. You can actually open these. You can trigger switches. And I'm just going to avoid getting on fire right now. So I'm going to show you here. You did that, and you can... Ow. You gotta be paying attention. And you can just use him to trigger all of these. And you get yourself healed up.
This is a really pretty game.
It's a beautiful,
that lava
beautiful
animation
game.
down there.
Lava's great. Characters are great. Like I said, way cuter than it has any right to be. Like, look at that hair.
Yeah, everything looks like it has like a nice weight to it. Oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna
We're gonna fight
battle.
a giant boar man and a flaming spider. Now,
the mouse guy's with you.
Yeah, the mouse guy is Robert, and he is one of our party members. He is he's a little mouse, capitalist mouse for some reason, with, like I said, not going to do any justice to explain it, but he's got a nice little bow and arrow, and we're not going to use him. We're actually going to start off with Nora here.
Okay.
And I'm convinced there's more to her than you're actually led on to believe. I don't want to talk about too much about her, about what we know about her, because it's better if the players figure it out for themselves. But she's kind of the status effects speed. She can speed people up, she can slow them down. So we're gonna speed ourselves up here.
Okay.
We're gonna quicken Aurora, and we're gonna see how. And then it's now Aurora's turn. And oh, one thing, I can continue to move him during this.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But
so
I
you
think
can collect that light that's in the...
you can click those little plants. They do regenerate. It takes a while, but you can use it to heal yourself, or you can do things like this. Notice how that spider is... This is a turn-based system, so it's paused now, but
Okay.
notice how that spider is close to reaching the cast barrier. This is where you choose your attack, and if you actually hit someone while they're in this red little bar, you can interrupt them. But you can do this little trick whenever people are waiting for their turn to come up. I use the left trigger for this. It slows them down.
Your mouse guy's gone.
Yeah, I switched it to... I screwed that up, but you can actually interrupt. Like I said, you can slow this guy down, and I'm going to use just basic... I'm actually going to use some magic for fun. I'm going to use Aurora's light magic. Aurora is primarily sort of a well-rounded character, but her magic is light-based, which is strong against dark creatures. The other elements are fire, water, and air, and they do kind of a rock, paper, scissors thing. And right now, I think these guys are weak against water, so we'll be using a guy who uses that in a sec. I just want to smack this guy a little bit, and we'll see how that works. Now I'm going to slow him down so she can get her hit off. And she paralyzes. Nora has this thing where her main attack paralyzes people. And it's pretty fun.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna use up some magic, switch to Finn here. And Finn is our dwarf. Our magical dwarf with a pipe. Like I said...
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. So we're gonna use his water magic.
Is that a bell on his head, or is that a...
That's a light.
It's a light? Oh, like an anglerfish.
And I'm going to blind this guy. I'm going to just have Aurora smack someone in the face, because that's what she's good at. And she's sped up because of Nora. Finn blows on his pipe, and apparently smoking mint, which is what apparently they smoke, is how you produce magic. So magic is produced by consumption of narcotics. Just like in real life.
Before you knock out that spider, we are going to take a break.
Oh, are we?
Yes, we will be right back.
Alright.
And we're back.
We are back. And it's right where we left it. And let's...
So we're fighting a fire spider and a boar?
And a boar man.
Boar man. Okay.
For reasons that are not ever truly explained.
Because...
I mean, and I should mention right now that what our objective is currently is to fight these 3 giant spiders to remove the webs around the heart of a giant stone man. That is our current objective in this game.
Is he a nice stone man?
He's pretty nice.
Okay, that's good.
We went inside of his mouth in order to get here. We're inside of him right now, and he didn't bite us.
He's
so
like a magma stone man.
Yeah, kind of.
That's pretty cool. So I guess the lava is his blood.
Yeah, which, you know, it kind of disturbs me that it's all flowing out there.
Like the anatomy of a rock guy.
And I'm going to go up to his heart, because I'm actually not sure where to go right here. That's his heart.
Okay.
And
Look at that.
We've already killed...
so colorful.
Now, I'm sorry to say I've already killed one of the spiders right now, because I was doing this earlier. So we're already a third of the way there.
So it's kind of like a big maze, and you have to kind of find your way through.
Yeah. You have to kind of just go around killing all the stuff. And I just got a confession. We're not going to read that now, but they're little story poems. And I should mention this, we haven't seen this because nobody's been talking, but everyone speaks in rhyme.
Okay.
Everything is in rhyme. Absolutely everything.
Now, is that annoying, or is that actually...
I have to say that whenever you find a locked door and it goes locked and the little sprite goes, "I'm not shocked," that happens every time. That gets a little tedious. but generally it's fine. The dialogue's varied enough. It's also kind of funny when one of your characters has this inability to properly rhyme, so the rest of the party has to actually correct them in order to keep the actual rhyming pairs going.
It's kind of clever.
It is clever. It's actually... we'll actually use that character right now because I feel like it. That is Rubella, and is one of my favorite types of characters, a clown.
That's...
Acrobatic clowns.
I can see how that could be terrifying.
I'm not afraid of clowns. Clowns are awesome.
Got a little bit of a Harley Quinn vibe going.
Yeah, she does. She has no ability to rhyme, and she's apparently an acrobat looking for her brother.
Okay.
And that's all I'll say about her plot. No, these little guys are fine. I'm going to power myself up a little bit with some elevate damage. With that sword that's bigger than I am. And my nice little crown.
So how have you found the combat?
Actually pretty interesting. Like I said, you can actually do stuff like blind people during combat. I just did it for no reason there. But you can also do... I've noticed my princess is a little hurt, so I'm going to heal her a little bit. If you do the same thing over her, it starts to heal her. And it also starts to make her hair shoot up like a Saiyan.
Can you do that when you're not... when it's not your turn?
Yeah, you can do that at any time. This is entirely real time. So I'm going to do that even if this guy's attacking, and you'll notice I'm healing.
Yeah.
Now you can't interrupt their attacks that way, but you can slow them down while you're waiting for the turn. So we'll just...
So you can, like, blind them and stuff.
Blind
That'll
that,
slow them down. Okay.
and that slowed him down, and she just interrupted him. Because he was in his the little cast red part. See what I mean?
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
You choose your action here, and then, however, depending on cast time, it goes from here into different pace. When it reaches the end, you execute your attack. If you are hit, or whoever's action is hit while they're in this red part, they shoot back here and are interrupted.
I could see that being annoying if that happens to you.
Oh yeah, I had one fight where that happened every single attack. I'm gonna switch back to Nora because I just love me some slow and status powers. Gonna slow this pig down. Gonna make him go slow. And we're gonna... Oh, I let that guy get a hit off. Alright, and we're gonna just take a hit here. I don't know if it's that interesting to watch. Like, all JRPG combat, it looks kind of formulaic, is what the word I'm looking for, I guess. Like, you're kind of just back and forth, but this little element makes it interesting, because you can go over here, you can pop up these little things. I'm going to heal myself up, get some mana.
It seems like it gives you something else to focus on.
Yeah, it does. And it keeps the battles interesting, particularly... I just got interrupted there. And there's the prompt. I don't know how to turn those off, but it tells you defending helps against interruption. There's no reason to do that now. I'm just going to use my magic. I'm going to use a bit of her magic because I feel like it. And I'm going to quicken her. And we're going to see how that works. Now, as you notice, I can switch party members at any time, right?
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty good idea to keep switching, because you can actually use, let's say, Finn's magic to do a lot of damage. You can switch back to Nora and use it to speed yourself up. You can switch to Rebella and heal people. You can switch to the mouse, for Robert, and have him do his archery thing. So it's pretty good to switch around in combat to kind of keep things fresh. I'm going to switch right now to Robert.
To keep, Aurora?
No, you don't. I just always do.
Okay.
I just got used to keeping her. I believe you can actually switch her out, which is good if she dies. Like JRPG standard heal thing, you know? And so far it's pretty easy. It's getting a little harder. Like, I take a lot more damage now. Guys will actually hurt me. Have to kind of keep on my toes, you know? And that's what I'm kind of worried about. A lot of games like this with JRPGs is that they get really rhythmic. I played this little indie-made one called Grey Gardens freeware thing, and it was just like just completely rhythmic. You were never in any threat, just doing the same thing over and over again, and that's what kind of makes it boring. Let's just switch out Aurora and let's have a dwarf and mouse party. I don't even want to
That's
know.
what I like about RPGs. Like, where else are you going to see a dwarf, anglerfish person, mouse, a capitalist mouse fight a fire spider?
No idea. YouTube, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Sounds like a good little thing. Here's a door.
Sounds like a children's cartoon, actually.
Yeah, I would probably watch this if this was on TV. I'd probably let my kids watch this if it were a cartoon.
I heard that a lot of the art style was inspired by
Gonna open this up.
old
Nice. Got some sapphires.
like fairy tales.
Yeah, it's
You can kind of see that.
you can see that right from the gate. You can just see all the different fairy tale assumptions. It plays out like a fairy tale. It kind of has a weird, surreal vibe to it. I've got a few theories for how it's going to end. I can't spoil them right now. I am apparently under threat of horrible injury if I spoil anything, so I'm not going to do that. Notice how dark it is.
Yeah, that's how do you? I guess you use
This
your
little
light guy. Okay.
Yeah, he's a light source. He is a light source, and he will help me on my way. And I just walked into some lava because I am so coordinated.
He can't help you with that.
Yeah, he can't protect me from lava. He can apparently ask me questions like, "What is love?" And I can't respond, "Baby, don't hurt me."
I was about to say that. You can't say that now.
No, so I'm gonna use that strength thing on her. Her strength is not high, but I don't care. Main character gets all of those items. Period.
Now, is that just something you do, or is that?
That's a real common thing. I use Chrono Trigger as an example because you always gave all of the items you found to your main character, because he's always with you. So your main character is always going to be there. You never know if your other party members are going to leave, so you always give that stuff to the main.
So you just don't trust your party members.
No, I don't trust them.
They're gonna leave you and hurt you and take
I
your stuff.
can guarantee you that at least one person in this party is going to be evil.
That's a personal guarantee.
I personally guarantee that at least one party member is going to betray you at some point. I may be wrong, but it almost always happens, and it seems like it's a really shoe-in thing for a game that uses fairy tale narrative. And we're getting a bit of webs in the background, so I think we're getting near our quarry. I'd like to at least get to this... No, bad pig. Nope, I guess we gotta fight him.
Can't get around them.
No, but I'm gonna use my horrifying powers.
So now that is a boar and a fire rock?
And a fire rock, yes.
Okay.
Yes, you fight rocks in this game. You fight talking rocks, you fight boars, you fight ghosts, you fight weird tree people. That was quick. I'm not even going to use this on him. I'm just going to let him drop rocks on my head. Drain some power. I'm going to switch back because I miss Aurora, so I'm going to switch her back. She's really kind of cool, so I like her. And then she's going to use that power. I have no idea what the boars are weak against. You actually learn that from using different attacks on them. It'll say weak against this or strong against this.
So it's a lot of that.
So we'll try Monsoon because this is a fire area.
Trial and error.
Yeah, trial and error, but it's fun. It makes it more fun to just experiment around, see what they're good at. Also, they will, and it doesn't show it here, but they will actually counter certain moves.
Okay.
With other moves. Like if you physically attack certain enemies, they will physically attack back. Like automatic counterattack or magic will do it sometimes. And it's actually kind of interesting. I'm just gonna pop this guy.
Is that like a leveling thing, or if you're too low?
No, it's just mechanic so that you mix it up, so you can't just spam the same thing over and over again.
Okay.
Robert got a level.
Good for Robert.
You get some skill points. As you can see, the skill tree is pretty comprehensive.
That's elaborate.
There's all this stuff that isn't unlocked, so I have no idea when that's going to come in. But we're going to level up our princess. And we're going to take another break, actually, while I'm doing this, because nobody wants to see me just go through skill trees for a while. So
I do.
You do? Well, then you can watch it while we're on break.
Do on break.
Awesome.
Terrible.
Figured out how to do that. I forgot it's Halloween.
back. We are back after I spent a horrible amount of time on that little screen. You don't need to spend that much time. It's just a few minutes, but I like to kind of know what I'm doing when it comes to screen. I don't know if you can actually refund skills in this.
You want to play it your way?
Yeah, well, I'm always big on being allowed to refund stuff if you make a mistake, because you never know the metrics. So I screwed it.
Big up spider over there.
Oh yes. And then we're talking here. Yep. See, rhyme. All rhyme. And Magna is the spider, is the giant. So we're gonna fight a spider with a helmet on.
That's an armored spider.
No, I can't get past. I can't get that treasure chest yet, so I'm just gonna fight this guy. Oh, I got a surprise. And see, I hit him in the back, so I get a surprise strike, which means I get the first turn.
Okay.
And that's great. And what you can do on the normal like overworld screen is you can actually blind them, so you can move through them and get behind them, or you can just pass them by. I don't use it a lot, but it's a good little thing to do. And we're gonna elevate some damage on her. Now, my correction is, this is essentially a boss fight. So my understanding of this is that they're not really weak against magic. They're pretty strong against it. So don't think our dwarf is going to help. So I'm going to use my old standby Nora, and I'm going to speed us up.
Aurora and Nora.
Aurora and Nora, very similar names. There might be a reason for that. Yeah, I got interrupted there because I wasn't paying attention. Always got to pay attention in this kind of game. And they're just beating on me. And I'm going to defend here. Now, defend, as I mentioned, defend will prevent them from interrupting me. It will also keep that on even when it goes in my turn, so they can't interrupt me. And it will also increase the amount of, make it faster for me to get to my next turn.
Okay.
So it's actually useful in a lot of JRPGs, where defending is like why you're not attacking all the time. You know what I mean?
So you can actually go more than one turn without using a character.
More than one turn without using a turn?
Well, yeah, like you were just saying that it would get you to the casting part faster if you defend for the next turn.
Yeah, it'll. You can keep using defend and it will go faster and faster. But the thing is you only use defend to put up that little barrier so people can't interrupt you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Am I making sense there?
Yeah, no, I got confused with something you were saying.
That's cool.
At first I thought that, like, you could go more than one turn because a character physically can't go.
No, you essentially use your turn on in defending. Now, I'm not going to even bother blocking them in this case because, see, they're all grouped together. I can't slow them down fast enough to really help in that case. So I'm going to use... I'm just going to use her physical attack, Petrified. It paralyzes people, so it's good. And we're going to see how that works. I want to finish this boss fight before we cut this off and do some other work. Lots of video games to go, always stuff to do, right?
Yep.
Yep, I'm not even going to bother using magic on them. Alright, just whittle them down, and let me see. This is the one that's closest, so we're going to blind him.
See, I thought that, like, from when we were still inside we still are inside of him. But when we saw that big spider, I thought that was going to be the boss.
The big spider legs surround the heart.
Okay.
I noticed that too. That'll probably come after these guys, but we won't be seeing that on the video, sadly.
Oh. Well, let me know.
Yeah,
I'm curious about that now.
I will let you know. I'll be playing this right afterwards. Still got to get it out. Still got to get that review done. You know.
Yeah.
And this is the guy. Blind him. He slowed down my princess. Not happy. And I just paralyzed him, which is awesome. No,
paralyzed.
And I'm gonna...
So how long does a paralyze last? Depends.
Until I hit them, or a few turns. I'm not entirely certain myself. But I'm just going to use my clown to smack somebody around. And that was not the right... You can always see which...
Clown is creepy.
She's not. She's nice.
Even her, like, movements are just... Ugh.
Clowns are awesome. Like, everyone should love clowns. Best moment in history was when that one Cirque du Soleil clown was in orbit. It was a fantastic day. Don't you think so?
Greatest day in all of mankind.
The greatest day of all of mankind. Not, you know, the United Nations, not, you know...
Clown in orbit.
Yeah,
for
clown
sure.
in orbit. Okay, I just killed a spider, that's good. Let's get this going. She's hurt. I'm gonna heal her. I'm just gonna use the clown hero. Healing, healing.
I feel like being able to like heal like without giving up a turn.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bit of a. It takes away some of the intensity.
The difficulty a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like that, but it's not a lot of healing, and you drain your little bar up there, which you usually use to slow people down. It's more useful for that, in my opinion.
But you can replenish it, right?
You can, but those flowers take a while to restore. So in fights where it takes long enough to restore, you're generally fighting somebody who can do a lot of damage. And it's not that hard of a game. In all fairness, it's not very hard, but wait for the other shoe to drop, and it has been getting a bit hard. It has been getting harder. I've had a few real kind of close calls, so we're gonna see how that's gonna go. Come on, die, you horrible spiders! That was a waste.
I love the animation on the spiders too. I love that like armor and the helmets.
It looks great. Like everything in this game looks fantastic. It has that really nice storybook feel, like a pop-up book. I'm just really liking it. I noticed that our models look a little more 3D than theirs.
I was just about to say that.
Like, they actually look sort of more like a 3D image. They look more like a cutout in a storybook. And I'm wondering why is that?
There's gotta be some significance to the story, or at least an overarching theme, maybe.
Let me check something, actually.
I haven't.
Okay, Robert looks more like a storybook character than Nora and Aurora.
Well, Nora and Aurora are also human.
Maybe. We don't... You'll have to play the game to find out.
Well, they look humanoid.
Yeah, they do. It's actually a really interesting thing. I'm hoping people see when they play it out. I'm not allowed to talk about it. I've got one of our office members staring at me as I do this, so if I say anything out of line,
Murder your puppy or something.
just throw me out a window.
There you go.
Film it. That's, I interrupted him. Alright. Spider is starting to get on my nerves. Just gonna try to double hit him. I don't know if that's gonna work. Double hit actually only does a second. There we go.
There you go.
We just killed the spider. We got a bunch of levels up.
Sweet.
She's more powerful. She's really strong in magic at this point. She's more powerful. He's more powerful. He's a coward. That's the clown. Elf clown.
Creepy.
It's great.
It's creepy.
And our mouse friend. And we got a rough citrine, which we can equip. And I think we're gonna let it go at this point as we watch we one step closer to saving our giant friends.
Gonna leave you on a cliffhanger.
Yep. Not gonna give away everything. And this is Alex with CGMagazine.
And this is Cody with CGMagazine.
Yeah, and
Don't forget to check out his review.
yeah,
Comes out on.
it's something like that. I'm not gonna. Yeah, so,
Comes out today.
okay, so yeah, it comes out today. We forgot what day it was. It happens sometimes. And thanks for watching. Spinning around with my horrible hair.